All right, just checking to make sure we are functioning here. Looks like we are good. We're told with audio. All right, we're gonna wait till a few more people, a few more mushpaka get in here. Gonna go ahead and pull up the charts today because we're always using those. Hope y'all are having an Ashar Shabbat, a happy Shabbat. All right. Let's play some Tahalim while we wait on people to come in.
You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. In your kindness you led the people whom you have redeemed. In your strength you guided them to your CHADASH dwelling. Peoples heard, they trembled, anguish gripped the inhabitants of Pelishah. Then the chiefs of Adam were troubled, the mighty men of Moab. Trembling grips them, all the inhabitants of Canaan melted. Fear and dread fell on them by the greatness of your arm. They are as silent as a stone until your
is like you, O Yahuwah? The answer is no one. Nobody. Not a single person. Shabbat shalom, Mishpaka. All right, we're going to do some Abry origin and etymology. We do have a couple announcements. We'll probably get to those as we go through this. A couple things I did want to show you really quickly. Something that I did that I'm not sure if this is helpful to the rest of you, but if you are learning Abry, this is probably going to be pretty told for you to understand. So I had mentioned before about writing out the Abry, writing out the Aleph Bait, right? Pencil, pen, whatever. And I also have flashcards that are in the docs, as you just saw me pull up here on the link tree /Nazareth. Go to docs and media. And not only are you going to have your two charts here and here, but also the flashcards. So these aren't exact. This is a little bit ish. However, this is going to get you really great practice. So you have all these flashcards here, and then it goes into paleo. And then once you get to the bottom, there's going to be a chart. And this is the chart that I'm about to show you here that I have. I printed this out and I cut it into the three sections that it allows here. And what I did was I posted this a few different places. This one's on my mirror in my bathroom. I have another one, I think, on a different mirror. Anyway, so I have the three placed around here, but you'll notice it's got a piece of tape. If you can see this line here, it's got a piece of tape around it. What I did first was I laminated it, and this will allows me to practice with a dry erase marker. So, in case you guys are not familiar with laminating, or what I call hillbilly lamination, redneck laminating, where you just take a piece of scotch tape, really. And in this particular video, I was unable to find one that really goes to the technique well. I may have to just make one. If it comes to it, I'll make one. But it's a pretty simple concept. I'm going to play through some of this. Disregard what he is actually laminating here. Um, a few techniques I'm going to teach you just really quickly off the bat here is that you're not going to want to layer them too harshly. You're going to want some overlap whenever you're doing this, because your scotch tape is going to be smaller, or your not scotch tape, your shipping tape is going to be smaller than the product, or the piece of paper that you're actually laminating. So you'll see here, this is an example of too much overlap, right? It's getting kind of wavy. So let me fast forward just a little bit here. He's going to show you how he's holding the tape in this specific way to where it droops down in the middle. So he's showing you the tape. And now he's kind of forcing it to where the middle kind of bows out at the bottom. Notice that has this droop. So that's how he's actually about to overlay it over the top. And this is important because the center needs to hit the product first, the paper. And so once it's from the center, you can take your finger and lightly push it out to the right, push it out to the left, in a flat motion. Um, then all you're going to do is flip it and do the same thing again. So that's probably the easiest way to do this. Don't tape it to the table. I've done that. So get something that's like a some type of gel cutting board, or something like that. Or if you just know how to get it off of the table, that's probably pretty key information. But I just wanted to show you this here because this is something that I do use often. I will take a dry erase marker and, for example, say I'm just wanting to understand what the English interpretation, right? So this would be A. This would be B. This would be G and D, right? So just to give you a few examples. So other things you can kind of do with this, you can instead of writing in which letter it corresponds to, you could write the sound. You could write the number, the value number that's associated with it. Um, yeah, so it's kind of like a flashcard, except that you are actually testing yourself. So I'm trying to see if I can. I think I see a couple lines here where I don't think that's it actually. But anyway, so if you have any trouble doing this, let me know. We'll get it worked out for you. But I found that this is a really helpful tool for memorization purposes. So I hope that's helpful to y'all as well. All right. And we will be done with that. All right. So I had a list of names that I wanted to go over today. We may not get to them all. We probably won't get to them all. But one small distinction I did want to note while we're in here, because I see a lot of, in the chats, I see a lot of people addressing their brothers and sisters. This would be Akot is sister, Akiyot is sisters, Achyut. So this would be the plural form. And what I'm finding is that anything that is female, um, you know how like Spanish, English doesn't have this as much, but in Spanish, words are either male or female just by default. And so whenever it ends with a ut, this is a this is not an O, but this is a ut, and whenever this happens, the plural form would be yut, ending in yut. And adversely for brother, when we greet our brothers, we say ak, brother, ach, and brothers, akim. So instead of adding a yut to the end, we're adding a ym for male. Akim makes it brothers. Okay, French too. Great to know. So that's probably a Latin based thing, most likely. I'm not a linguist, but that's great. Yeah, that's great information. Okay, thank you, Queen. And thank you, still Yahoo. I couldn't think of the, the term for that mat. Yes, a silicone mat, a cutting mat, a craft mat. Just don't tear up your table or your countertop. um, you can even even if you only have a tabletop for laminating, for redneck laminating, you can always just simply tuck a piece of the tape on top of itself, so that way it's easier to pull up later. Just the corner or whatever. So there's workarounds. So I just wanted to touch on that for sisters and brothers. Let's see if there's anything else in here. If y'all ever see me use this word, correct me. I don't mean to use this word. I loathe this word. Nice is the etymology of the word nice, I should say, actually means stupid or ignorant, which those are two different words, really, stupid and ignorant. But suffice it to say, not knowing, the ignorance of not knowing, I never claim to be not knowing. I might always be learning, but I'm not unknowing. I'm not stupid. Don't ever let me use that word. All right. So, this is some of the lineage I was hoping to go over today. If we don't get to all of it, that's fine. I do have some others as well. Somebody had mentioned I want to say it was YAHUAH, but I could be wrong. Somebody mentioned, maybe it was JJ about Gad, so we might get to that as well. And then if Yaneth is here, I'm not sure if Yaneth is here yet, but we will be decoding her name as well. All right, so let's start from scratch like we always do. Let's say we don't know what to look up, how to look up, right? The first man was named Adam. Adam, let's just see if it'll do this. Interlinear verse. Curious if it'll do this. So it pops up. The first is Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Adam. Adam's number is 121. Proper name, phonetic spelling is ADM. ADM, three letters. ADM. ADM. All right. It literally means man. Let's see what this does. Okay, this brings us to the previous version, 120. 120 is a noun that means man, humankind, human. Um, One thing that I did learn not so long ago is that this form gets a little bit more into detail to let you know that Ruddy or Rudy, depending on where you're from, um, i.e., the human being, right? What does Ruddy mean? Anybody know in the comments or in the chat? Ruddy, Rudy. I kind of say both. The answer's here on the page. Yeah. And I'll give you a hint. It's one before this. It's 119. Instead of 120 and 121, it'll be 119. Ruddy or Rudy means dyed red or reddish. Yes, I knew somebody would know. And yes, Kane, that would probably be your English interpretation, but reddish or dyed red. See right here in the middle where it says H119, dyed red. I try not to ask you guys questions without the answers being on the page. Yeah, because this stuff is hard enough as it is, you know. So let's go to 119. Let's see what 119 says. 119, same spelling, ADM. No O. ADM. And this is the verb form. The verb form is literally dyed red, red or ruddy, to show blood in the face, or to turn flush, or to turn rosy. And I don't know about y'all, but it just takes a little bit of heat for me to turn red. My Adam shows really quickly in the heat. Very quickly in this heat. It's been 105 degrees here. All I need to do is just open the door and I'm Rudy. So maybe that's something you didn't know about your lineage, your ancestral line, that Rudy, and some people, believe it or not, some people will argue that what we call BLACK, right, or brown, that some people think that that's actually not red at all, which I don't know how in the world these people think that you can get the color brown without having the color red. Like you need the color red in order to get brown, in order to be quote unquote black. Yeah. Um, so don't let people tell you that Rudy is specific to a certain type of race, right? Some people have a little bit more reddish appearance than others, right? Because their skin is going to be a little bit more light complected than others. But essentially, what you're seeing is the blood in the face, or the blood in the skin. I'm going to go back one just to see if we're missing any other information here, and we're not. This is a whole new word. Okay. So from 119 to 120, 121, 122. Again, this is ruddy, but this is the adjective form. This is supposedly pronounced Edom, but this is the same exact spelling, 123. Uh, this is referring to specifically the Edomites. Genesis 25. So it's still, if you notice here, even though the Ish people would say that this is a totally different word, it still has red built into it, right? The reddishness. And this is specifically referring to the lineage of the twin brother of Jacob, the elder twin brother of Jacob. Okay. So this would be his region. Still the same spelling. Still the same spelling. Here we go again. This is a noun that's considered feminine by at least the Ish people. And this would give a sardis ruby appearance, a garnet, some other red gem. So it would be my assumption, and don't take this as fact because we're all still learning here, but it would be kind of my assumption here at this point that maybe, since this has to do with a stone or some type of beauty, maybe that's what makes this feminine. But other than that, this is the exact same spelling, ADM, Adam, meaning ruby in this instance. And this is where it starts to get a little more complicated. This technically does still mean reddish or ruddy, but this word is ADMDM. Aha. Adam, Adam Dam. Does that make sense? Still got that reddish quality to it, which I find interesting. This would be an adjective. And this may be an indication of maybe not quite so red, but reddish, maybe pink. All right. And now we're getting into territory that doesn't pertain to this topic. So, just to reiterate, 124 through 119. 119 through 124 are all Adam. Same spelling, slightly different meanings. All right. We're going to go a little bit out of order here. I want to see. I want to see if we can find the difference between Abraham and Abram. Have you ever wondered? Let's look up one of these. I just went with Genesis 17:24, but I wanted it interlinear. So I'm going to search it again. And I can't spell today. Okay. And took Abraham. Okay, so Abraham, 85. So took Abraham Ishmael his son. Okay. That's the context of this. Abraham, father of a multitude. So, let's see. Contracted from the word father. So, ab, as in, or ab, father. So, this is the word that Abraham comes from, ab, which is no coincidence, the very, very, very first of the English concordance listed. The same word that means Abba, father, also makes up Abraham, father of a multitude. The later name of Abram. Okay, let's see what Abram says. So, this being 85 and Abram being 87, now you'll notice here, although they are very similar words, this reference of origin is going to be H48, whereas the other was H1, Ab. This is H48. Let's check it out. So, Ab. So, this is ABYRM. Ab. Abiram. Abiram. So, this word comes from the contracted Ab, father, and exalted, Abiram, lofty. Isn't that interesting? Let's check out. So, we went from 85, and then this word is kind of out of place, and then back to 87 as far as Abraham is concerned. Anything you guys are noting? Any anything interesting that jumps out at you? Father of height. So he was father before, right? Or did I get that backwards? Abraham, Abram, and Eber. They say Eber, but it's Aber. So Abraham's grandsire, his grandfather, would be where we get the term Abry. I just wanted to see. They always spell it with an E though. Okay, this confirms what we just looked up. In case you need a quick summary, the etymology, while Abram means exalted father, Abraham means father of many nations. Father either way, right? Just curious if it's going to give us. Okay, so this would be Abri when we say uh, Hebrew. So let me zoom in. A B Abry. You are Abry. If you didn't know, this describes you. Abry. You are part of Yasharal, then you are Hebrew, which is Abry. Now down here it says from the word Eber, which we kind of just discussed. 5677 is Eber. From the word Abar. So here they kind of admit it to you that there is no E. A-B-R. A-B-R. Let's check it out. A-B-R. So the only letter we're really missing here is the Y, Abri. So A-B-R, which is the root word, to pass over. Anybody been to Passover? Hmm. To cross. You think these people crossed over anywhere? Think they crossed over to go through somewhere? But did they also transgress? Yes, they did. And this is one of those words that's really going to show you the that neutral meaning that I'm always talking about. How some words seem like they're plainly positive or plainly negative, and this one is a great example of how it's got kind of both, really. To pass over, to cross through, to transgress. In King James, they're going to tell you all of these things: to carry over, to overcome, to conduct, do away, enter, escape, fail. Yeah, that's a lot. Transition, intransitive. Well, that sounds like our people. In transit, don't you think? In transit. That sounds like a bar, the verb form of abri, to cover. Okay, here we go. Alienate. In some ways, that's a lot like being kadash, right? Set apart. Through, carry over, overcome. Interesting stuff. Okay. What is it? What do you guys have questions about? Do you guys have any questions so far? Something that I maybe went over too quickly? Do you want me to hit Kadash versus Kadesh again? Or I think we decided it's a let me see. Okay. So here, I'm gonna blow this up. Kadash CH version, which means month, which by the way is tomorrow. New month is tomorrow. So CH Kadash has this soft, think of it as a soft CH. The common example I see across different tables is going to be that it has this Bach, or we say Bach in America, but in probably the rest of the world, it's very much like Bach. Has a little bit of a throat business to it. Definitely different than this version with the Q as in queen and kitty, right? For example. Kriyahu, you said yes, please. Yes, please. What did I go too fast? Kadash and Kadesh, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Chadash and Kadash. Sorry, I don't mean to be confusing. Kadash. Oops. Let's do it this way. We'll say we don't know anything, and let's just say new month verse interlinear, and it usually knows I mean the Bible. Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Cree. All right. Leviticus 23:5. The example is on the month the first. I think this is it. Let's see. 23:20. Let's see if this is it. Yep. Now you notice it didn't start with a Kadash. Like you're not reading it and thinking, oh, that looks like Kadash. Because it starts with a B, right? Because it's what it's telling you is on the month. So it's Ba Hakadash. Ba on Ha the Kadash. So 23:20 Kadash. And let me, I don't know if I can bring up everything side by side, but I'm going to try. I'm still going to try. Okay. It'll be a little small, but I think you kind of get the point. Let me zoom. Okay. This letter right here is the CH. You'll notice it looks a lot like this. Looks like the H, but it is not. It has a connecting piece here. So that's how you differentiate the H from the CH. So CH right here is the first letter because you're reading from right to left. And then you see this. This is Dalet, which means D. And that's the second letter. Let me zoom in. Okay. And then your SH, which if you're looking in your paleo, this should be a dead giveaway. This is the teeth, the two front teeth. Makes the S sound or the sh sound actually. I did that again. I did that last time and I did it again. Okay. So the SH right here. This is what it looks like in the modern Hebrew, the two front teeth. So CHDSH, Kadash, which means new month. Now don't be fooled. We've talked about this quite a lot on Ambassadors of Yah, how moon is actually the word Yarak. So disregard this. So 23:20 Kadash. Now I'm going to go back here to my other search and I'm going to say, instead of new month, I'm going to say set apart. And what I'm telling it is to give me an interlinear verse that has set apart in it. For example, Psalm 4:3. Oop, we didn't get interlinear. We need interlinear. And we prefer Hebrew, so we're looking into Old Testament. Don't know why it didn't generate anything, but I'm going to put a hyphen here. Sometimes that matters. I'm not a bot. Okay. It's being cantankerous. So I'm going to say you may have to get a little bit more specific. And if need be, we're just going to go right in because we know where to find it anyway. We'll just go here back to Bible Hub and we will say set apart. Okay. See, that was easier. And that would be 6942, CHADASH. Different spelling. So, unlike the other one that began with a CH, this one begins with a Q. Q right here, kuf. And this does give you the k sound, not a sound, but a k sound. And I know I'm exaggerating that other, it does sound a little ish, but they are technically a little bit different. And so until I figure that out completely, I'm just going to stick to what seems logical. So this one starts with a Q, and then we also have the same last two letters, or middle and last. This is a D, this is a SH. So the only thing that's really different is the first glyph. And the difference in meaning is to consecrate, to sanctify, set apart, and we don't say that H word, but make HOLY. And this is a verb. Whereas this one is a noun. CH version means new, and it is a noun. New month. Kadash with a Q is a verb. Somebody wanted to see Mashpaka. Is that what you're asking? Let me close out some of these windows. You want to see Mashpaka? Let's see family. Let's see it in the context while we're at it. I didn't do it right. Let's do it again. I really like seeing the interlinear. It also gives you, whenever you look at the interlinear, it does help you understand more of the sentence structure and how that's put together. Like, for example, this one doesn't have a number, you notice. Among you, Bakam, BKM, BKM, Bakam. So this is like an implied, um, perhaps ish, but still, this is a preposition, so it does give you the sentence structure all the way around. Like this is a preposition with him, but it's a logged preposition. You see what I'm saying? It has a reference number. And I came here to look for the word family, and I'm not seeing it. Could be I missed it. Could be sometimes what we assume in English is the correct word is actually not the correct word. So let's try this again. Family. Sometimes, and I can't tell you why, but sometimes it matters where on Bible Hub you're putting this in. So let me try a couple different places. Or we'll just look it up from the beginning. Family. Nothing that is made by man is perfect, unfortunately, but also, or I shouldn't say fortunately. It's for the best. Trust. It's for the best that it is not. Let every man be a liar. And only Yahuwah hold the truth. Okay, it is not populating. Let's look at it this way. I couldn't tell you why. You know how, like, the other day, um, it was the SUS, the suffix SUS that Jimmy couldn't find anymore. They stripped it off the internet. Well, they do stuff like that all the time, even on these websites. They have full control over all the information that's out here. And most of the time, they're the only one that's got the information anyway. So let's try a whole different verse than we tried. Family land. That's what this is referring to. Okay. If anybody knows a verse that family just comes in there, let me know. For some reason, not having a easy time of it. And it be like that sometimes. Just hang with it. And it's probably because I can't spell. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of afraid this wouldn't have it either. Okay. Not sure why we're having a hard time finding that. We didn't before, did we? I'm going to try. No, they wouldn't. I know this is not how you spell it, but I'm trying to get Google to give me the right result. Nope. Nope. Family? I don't know why it is not populating. Let me try this one other thing I haven't tried. I have a bookmark for a rock, and sometimes it will let me do it from here. Okay. Don't know why it didn't. See what I mean? You just got to work out what works for you and how they're tracking you. All I did was go to my bookmark. This is my bookmark here. Iraq 6168. I just have it bookmarked. So I just went up here to this box and typed in family, and that's what got me. So your guess is as great as mine on how one works and the other one doesn't. But this is the word mashpaka. This is clan, tribe, kindred. And let me show you with the charts. Okay, wrong chart. First letter here is going to be M. Not super clear on this particular chart, but on the other one, there's a variant version of this. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Okay, you see it here. See how there's two mom right here? This would be the original, this would be the paleo, and this is the modern. What I have found is that one is for ending words and one is for the middle of words. That is a very modern invention, as you can see. But essentially, suffice it to say that there's going to be a few letters like kaf and mom and nakash or noon that all have the double representation. So, right here, that is what you're looking at. The first letter right there. That's a M. Your next is going to be your SH. SH, two front teeth. Shin, right here. So, mosh M S H. Get out of here. Okay. So here's your next. This third letter looks like an upside down G, is for P, right? Now, sometimes it does have a lighter sound. It's not so forced. It may have a little bit of a, mm, let's see. I don't know that this is necessarily representative of the letter F. I wouldn't say that. But it can be a P as well as a P, if you know what I'm saying. So this would be a P. And here we run into that, those two characters that look very, very similar. We got one connected, one disconnected. Connected, disconnected. Don't worry about the vowel points. Don't worry about what's below and above. Just worry about the glyph itself. CH would be your first. Connected. See how it's connected right here? And then your last letter, H, disconnected. So this is, oops. This is basically what it's telling you in Hebrew. And this is how we would say it in English. M S H P C H H. Mash pacha. Mash pacha. M-A-S-H. Not M-Y-S-H. Not M-E-S-H. M-A-S-H. Mash pacha. Do I need to go over that one again? I can. Here's your, here's the M again if you need to see the M. Remember, M is going to have two different representations in modern. This kind of flowery look to it. I call it a flower. I don't know what it is. It's sort of a flourish. And then this one that's a little bit more squared off. And the A's are implied. That's why I said that this would be, this top one would be the Hebrew. And whenever we say it in English, we add vowels because, can anybody say that word in English without adding vowels to it? So 4940 is mashpaka. This is mashpach. So slightly different word, doesn't end with an H, ends with a CH. M-A-S-H-P-A-C-H-A. And the H on the end. Again, this would be a different word. So there's only one word. You know, we've been back and forth looking between all the different numbers like we did with Aber, like we did with Ab, Abraham, and they all had, you know, at least a few different numbers that could kind of correspond and sort of like back each other up. And Mashpaka only has 4940. 4939 is not correct, and 4941 is not correct as far as the word Mashpaka. This is the only one that's spelled out this way. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I think we're caught up. What questions might you have? I'm just browsing around here while I'm waiting on some of your questions. Yep, like mashed potatoes. You got it. Does it matter if we are speaking to male or female? Are you asking when we're saying mashpaka? No. And if you weren't here for the beginning part, let me touch on that again. If you are addressing specifically your brother, right, we say ach, A-C-H. We'll say, what's up, ach? You know? But if you're speaking to your brothers, plural, this is achim, A-C-H-Y-M, achim. Somebody said, I thought it turns into a Y. The only time it's interpreted as a Y is if it has this symbol down here. This symbol, this symbol, this symbol. This is what you're going to see in Hebrew. Let me show you this while I'm here. We just spelled, trying to remember how exactly it went. Yeah, this way. Abry. Abry. What does it mean? All right, Abry. Now it's not going to pop it out to you because this is not Yiddish, right? But we know Abry is Abry, the language. Abry. So the only time you're going to add a Y is if a Y is indicated. You're not really adding it, you're just transliterating it. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that clears that up. So we're not adding glyphs and letters that aren't actually there. We are adding A for vowel usage for the English interpretation. Somebody had asked about Gad, and let me see. Okay, so there's going to be a four, at least four different interpretations of the word itself. Gad, GD. See, GD, GD, and GD, and then we get out of the frame. So this version 1410 is the proper name, aka the name of the person of the tribe of the one of the 12 tribes. And it gives us a clue down here. H1464 is the word that Gad comes from, which means raid. To invade, to attack and overcome. These are all verbs. To crowd upon, to attack, and believe it or not, this word even itself comes from a different word, which means to cut. Gadad. So Looks like we're gonna keep going down this hole. It's the Hebrew GUWD. Let's see what that says. So this is where it starts to veer off to overcome, to invade, to raid, and invade. Okay, so it's still on point though. It's kind of sort of it's sort of circling back around. So we got 1410, the proper name. This would be the noun, fortunate, but we don't use this word, right? We're trying not to use this word because fortune is associated with luck. And we don't do Loki, so we don't do that. We're not into Norse mythology over here, but that's where this word comes from. Let's go back one more. 1408. Another version of the proper name. This one would be the Babylonian deity specifically. So this is specifically referring to the God named GAD or God. I mean, since it's Babylonian, it might be God, but we know it to be GAD. And 1407, fortune or troop. What I do find interesting about this is that it has one of my favorite things to eat, coriander. Cilantro, really, is what it is. Coriander is the seed that, if I'm not mistaken, it is either related to cilantro or is the seed that sprouts cilantro. Either way, related. Um, so this would be to cut, probably specifically in relation to this. Coriander seed from its furrows. Interesting. See, I learn something new every day. And this specifically, you notice here it only has two occurrences. I find that really interesting too, because not only is it barely associated with coriander seed, but the way that it's related to coriander seed would be as manna. How the manna basically appeared like coriander seed. That's the only two references, Exodus 16:31 and Numbers 11:7. Both references have to do with the appearance of manna. That's really interesting. Yeah, it makes me want pho too. I'm hungry. Yes, and I love cilantro so much. That's probably, somebody could get me a bouquet of cilantro and I'd be happier than if they got me a bouquet of flowers. Okay, questions. Yes, I miss pho. I was in California for long enough to get hooked to that. That stuff is delicious. Questions? Questions and concerns. Who said it's not Shabbat? Oh, you're talking about the way that it's spelled? Let's let's go there. How should I search this? I'm trying to think of, okay. This is how they spell it, right? Notice it's just SH, B, and T. Three glyphs. Just three. SHBT. Don't worry about what's on the inside, outside of these glyphs. Worry about the glyph itself. Can't find where I need to be. Olive. Okay, so here is this middle letter is bait. Pretty easy to tell, right? Roof, wall, floor. Bait. House. Tent. Roof, wall, floor. That's a house. So, oh, that's what I've done. I picked up the wrong one again. Here we go. Here is the SH, right? The two front teeth. Two front teeth. Just looks a little different. Two front teeth. B. Doesn't that look like a buck tooth? Shh. Looks like shh. And this is buh. You know that because there's a ceiling, a wall, and a floor, a house, a bait. And this letter here, oh, not on this chart. This here, this will be your other glyph that looks very, very similar. Notice how it sort of has this flare tail, got this little zigzaggy bit. That'd be T, not TH. Now it may have a soft landing T, but it's not a TH. So SHBT. And it looks like this. SHBT. So say that in English. That would be Shabbat. Shabbat. Questions? The one thing we didn't get to yet, which we could probably go ahead and do. I don't think Yaneth is in the chat, but I know she'll be watching this at some point. So she had requested that I go over her name. Couldn't see. Oh, you are here. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I didn't see you there before. That's my bad. My eyes, when I get on a live, my eyes are like, somebody gonna have to point it out. So sorry about that. Okay, so I did discuss with her a little bit beforehand, so I know what her starting place is. And this is how she prefers to spell it. It seems like, in accordance with what she knows, as far as I'm up on. This would appear to be the closest Hebrew translation she probably knows today, which is fair. That's fair. Spanish and Hebrew, which is not wrong. You know, some hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So sometimes this AI generation can be close, but always check it. So you'll notice that we probably associate this in English with Janet. And in the text for our concern, this actually comes from the word Jonathan. It only says John, but you'll see why I say Jonathan in a little bit. So this is kind of giving you the overview. Yahuwah is gracious, Yahuwah is merciful. And these are all pretty close. I mean, they're not wrong. And this is why I say it's a little bit closer to Jonathan. Now, Jonathan means Yahuwah given. It's very, very close to Nathan. Nathan means gift of Yah. So given, you're in this realm, right? That's pretty close to what this was saying. Pretty close. Okay. So, one of the first things you're going to notice is that this begins with a Y. A Y right here. This yod is a Y. So if we're spelling out, let's make it easy. She spells her name currently. I think this is how you spell it currently, right? This is how you're, well, this is how she's currently spelling it, I believe. Okay. And so this is the beginning of how you spell Jonathan. It's going to be a Y. Now, to get that soft ya, yon kind of sound, you do have this H right here. I'm not sure if that's super pertinent to this, but as far as Yahuwah is concerned and how his name is spelled, it is spelled with these first two beginning letters. So I'm going to go ahead and say, since we pattern ourselves after him, right, this would be your first three letters. Okay. You with me so far? I'm trying to go a little bit slower. I apologize. I know I can go some fast sometimes. So the next letter in Jonathan's name, or Yehonathan, is this glyph, this N, the noon, right? Also known as the sprouting seed. So the next, did I get that right? Yeah. Oh, I didn't get that right. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Somebody needs to correct me. See, it'll happen. It'll happen to you. Trust me. This is actually a U. This is Yahoo. So you still got the Yah to begin with. Yahoo Nathan. Yahoo Nathan. You would just be missing the U in this case. That's one of the small differences between his name and your name. Okay. So dismiss this U because you don't have a U in your name. And then we are going to skip over to the next letter. I knew that looked funky. I was like, wait a minute, that ain't right. So this would be the noon. Apologies. And let me show you that on the other chart. The other chart has the double letter. This is the noon, the nakash, the seed. And it has two different representations. And if you were here last time, you remember me saying this looks like, if you've ever held a dead snake, this is like the dead weight of the snake. And this is the live snake. It starts to curl up from the bottom up. If you're holding it behind the head, that is. So that would make this next one N. And you really only lack one more letter, which is T. This letter here, because we don't end your name with an N. We end it with a T. And so all it really needs is just the Yanat. And that is how you spell your name. Now let's go ahead and put that into the biblical keyboard. So we got Y, H. Don't use this H. Don't use that one. Use this one. The little break in it is the correct indicator. I don't know why this is here. Oh, that must be the CH. That's got to be the CH. This one's the H. This is the CH. Okay. Just double checking to make sure I got it. So you got a YHNT. And it's going to be, notice how this glyph in the middle is an N, and this glyph here is also an N, but you've got the two different representations. You see that? You got the curled up snake and the possibly dead snake is how I interpret that. So this is what I mean by certain letters in the modern Hebrew have a specific glyph to end in and for the middle of the word. Sounds like English to me as far as structure, but I'm just letting you know for the purposes of this, we will be using the quote unquote live snake, which would be this one here. This would be the quote unquote not alive. And then the only thing that we really lack is the T, which is right here, the top. So, Yanit, this is how you spell your name. Let's see. Let's just see. Yanat. So, this is how they would pronounce it.
YAHANET.
Did you hear that? Give me a one if you could hear that pronunciation.
YAHANET. YAHANET.
That's, I mean, it is a little bit Yiddish, but that's really, really close. Really, really close. Yahnat. Very, very close to Jonathan, right? Okay, so you did hear. Okay, that's great. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of delay. Okay, so Yana, if you want to get even more deep into your name, this is what I'm going to suggest you do. Okay, go through all the letters that I just pointed out to you. Go through and find the ancient meaning for each one. And so you have four letters or four glyphs, and plug those in and see what it is that your name is saying about you. Now it's probably going to be neutral because this depends upon whether we follow the narrow path, right? If you follow the narrow path, it's it's going to have a great outcome, obviously. Now let me give you an example of, let's look up Moses. So I have an example to give you. Masha means, or Moses means, to draw out of the water, rescued. Did you guys know about that? That Masha means to draw out of the water? In fact, look at the very first letter. This M, the mem, it means water. The ancient picture is water. Chaos, mighty, blood. Let's see what the other one says. Tumultuous, drink, upheaval, lift up, many people, right? And then the SH, the two teeth, means to destroy. Sharp, press, eat, consume or destroy. So far you got chaos, destroy. You see what I'm saying about the ancient meanings? Chaos, destroyed. And then you got the T. Mark, sign, agreement, signature, monument. So you could read his name, Masha, not only as drawing out of the water or rescued from the water, you can read it as chaos, destroyed with the mark. Which mark? Well, we all, whether you're a vessel of mercy or a vessel of wrath, you have a mark either way, right? So this is what I mean by names are practically pretty neutral. And this is how you would find the ancient meaning of your name, Yanit, and whoever else is looking. Now there are different interpretations, right? Instead of destroy, you could say consume. You could say that 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 it presses. For the mark, you could just say agreement, right? So kind of plug these in to your own names and see what comes out. See what's what are the possibilities? Because that's just one character, one prophet from the text, and I'd say that, I mean, not only from his birth or from shortly after he was birthed, but also the crossing, right? That he was the one that initiated the crossing whenever he confided in Yahuwah, how do we get out of here? To cross the Reed Sea. So double meaning for sure. What questions do we have? We pretty much focused on just names for the most part. Okay. Some of these more modern words like thanks is only going to show up probably in New Testament because that's a Latin terminology. Oh yeah, I knew we looked that up. I want to see it again though. So the word I looked up was thanks or thanksgiving. So this is Ezra 3:11. Oh, that's why. That'd be why. Let's go to chapter. You got to check these. They will flip the verses on you. Chapter and verse, they're going to flip it on you. Okay, so here we are at 11. And they sang responsively, praising and giving thanks to Yahuwah, for he is good even to forever. His loving devotion is over Yasharal. That's another word we could look up if you guys are interested. And all the people shouted with a shout, great, Gedula, when they praised Yahuwah, because had been founded the house of Yahuwah. Okay, so the word I was looking for was thanksgiving, and you notice thanksgiving is not here. However, thanks or and giving thanks as a prepositional phrase is here. Let's see what 3034 says. And it just says yada. I'm just curious here. I'm curious if there's a phrase that says thank you or something to that effect. So what I'm going to do is notice on the right hand side where all these are listed. Go to the bottom and go to where it says 114 occurrences. Oops. Don't do that. Go to, oh, that's not right. See what I mean? These things have a mind of their own. Usually if you click this, it's going to take you right over. Okay, here we go. This looks different. That they revamped this. That's why. Okay. So I'm going to do control find and I'm going to say, let's just see if the phrase oops, thank you. Okay. So it's in here a couple times. That'll be First Chronicles and Isaiah. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to take this verse. I'm going to open it up in a new link. Thank you. Now it doesn't look like. Ooh, I'm not super familiar with this one. So 3034. You see? Do you see the word yada in here? That's a tough one. I'm not seeing it very plainly. So when I don't see it very plainly, I go back to the other reference. Ooh. Let's go to First Chronicles and see if that one is a little bit more apparent. Okay. I'm not seeing yada specifically, but yeah, I'm not seeing it. I see thank, and it doesn't look anything like what we're used to seeing it as. So this tells me I need more practice in sentence structure and things like that. Somebody had a question, I think, did they? About Gadula? I don't know everything. I'm learning. So this would be great. 1419, Gadul. You can see it here written as GDULH. GDULH. GDUL. So the only one it's missing is the H. So the ending in la, or ah rather, um, was going to be what gives you that form that we were just looking at. So this added AH makes it to where it fits the form of the sentence structure. Otherwise, it's just Gadul. GDUL, Gadul. And yes, that's right, Simone. You wouldn't have seen it for thanks because thanks wasn't in there, was it? And if you do find it, let me know because, like I say, I don't know everything. To be honest with you, with the different stuff I've got going on, every day's a brand new day. So you might show me something that maybe I knew and maybe I totally forgot about it. But we're to help one another for sure. So if you guys learn something that you know I didn't know, or maybe I misspoke about, definitely bring it to my attention. I don't want to be in the wrong. I don't want to be causing confusion. All right. Any last questions? We did go over some stuff like Gadul and Mashpaka, which we have gone over in previous. So if you need more information on that, you can always go back. You're saying Tura? Okay, let me look that up. Now they're going to spell it a little different, but I'm trying to cut through and get the reference number, is really what I'm trying to do. Thank you. I knew it was in there, but I didn't see it whenever it populated. So other than yada, this would be Tura. And Tura, because this is Tudh. It goes Tudh. And in English we say AH. Tuda. Or I should say with the correct pronunciation. So specifically this refers to, let's find a verse. Okay, so this tells you here that this word does come from yada. So whenever we searched yada earlier for thanks, that is the root word, so that is the correct answer. However, this word does derive from it, which I find really interesting. So let's find a verse that kind of goes along with what we're looking for. Can somebody use it in a sentence that they think that they would be using it, and maybe we'll find it that way? Like, how is it that you're wanting to use this in a sentence? And maybe that'll help. So we have to do it in the form of thanksgiving, or we would just say thanks, I guess. How would we say it in a sentence? Like Thanksgiving to Yahuwah. Okay, so here's Thanksgiving to Yahuwah. So you could say Yada Yahuwah, and that's thank Yahuwah. And it appears to me that you could say this. Oh, this is a sacrifice of thanksgiving specifically. So you see here, this N means it's a noun. And what we're looking for is the more of a verb form. Does that make sense? Because when we say thanks to Yahuwah, right, that's a verb because Yahuwah would be the subject. Give praise to him. Let's see what that one looks like. Notice here that Tuda is listed as confession, or is in this sentence, the case sounds as if it is confession. Not again, not quite what we're looking for. Again, that's a noun. See, here it is again as confession. Interesting. I now make confession. That's Tudh. Tuda. Isn't that interesting? I'm always blown away. I learn something every time I log on here. With hymns of thanksgiving. This is an interesting one. To Jerusalem, or to Jerusalem, to Yerushalayim, sorry, to make the dedication. Hanukkah. And with praises. Wow, okay. And this word is ubat u udu. Oh, wow, that's hard. Okay. So this is a, let me just spell it out because this is the phrasing is what gets me. This is a conjunctive phrase. So what they're saying here is and with praises. This word means and with praises. So it goes UBT UDUT. And all of that together means and with praises. So we're still not finding that exact, and it may take some time, to be really honest with you. To find the exact phrasing that you're talking about, it might take a little bit of time, or hey, it might just poof, the first thing you see whenever you search it. Maybe it doesn't pop up for me right away. Let's see what Psalm says. I will praise. I love this. Ahalah. I like that phrase. Ahalah. And I will magnify him with thanksgiving. So, if you wanted to say this, we'll magnify him with thanksgiving. That's a phrase. If you wanted to just say will and leave off the and, you just leave off the wa and start with agad. So if you wanted to say this phrase without the and, so leave off the first glyph and it'll be AGDB in. That's will magnify him. And here is with Thanksgiving. It's going to be BTUDH. So that's a phrase. We'll magnify him with Thanksgiving. You could say, God, Gadol Lenu. Let's see, Gadol Enu. So these two here would be him specifically. This right here would indicate him. Oh, I did that wrong. It was in you. Not, I don't know how I put that in there wrong, but it's in you. So this in you would be him. So if you wanted to leave off him and be specific about who him is, you could say, ooh, and then leave off the in you if you wanted. This would be a separate word. Is this making sense? So to speak this, it would sound like Agadal, Yahuwah. Oops, let me do that correctly. I want to be consistent. Gadal. And then the last word with Thanksgiving. If you wanted to leave off the with, just leave off the the b, the buh at the first here. But we're going to use it because it's part of this phrase. Batud. So this phrase would mean, I will magnify Yahuwah with thanksgiving. I hope that answers your question. I haven't decoded one like that in a while. So the only thing that we left off was and. This glyph here and this word and are the only things that would be left out. And what we did was, instead of nu meaning him, we replaced it with the entire word Yahuwah so we know who him is. Agadal Yahuwah Batura. And just for bonus, we'll do one that we've done before. This one won't take very long. And this is how you would say, I love you. This one's already very perfectly laid out in phrase. I love you is going to be correspondent to number 157, Ahava. But this is how you say it, Ahabatik. And again, we have gone over this before. If you want to check out the previous lives, this would be how you spell it. H bait, that, yod, and cough. Ahab, oops, Ahab, teak, Ahabatik, aka I love you. And this one, I will magnify Yahuwah with thanksgiving. Sure wish I could spell today. It's probably for the best. English. Okay. I hope I didn't overload you too much. Feel free to go back and watch on slower speed if you need to, catch up on all the previous ones as well. Do I have any other questions while we're still here? If you haven't already, do go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe. And be sure to share this video with anybody that you know is from Mishpaka wanting to learn Abry. And if you don't mind, go ahead and comment something below that you thought was helpful or something that you may have learned. Maybe you just remembered it and this was just your reminder. Sometimes that happens. It'd be like that sometimes. Yes, and the reference for Ahabatik is Judges. If you need to go look it up, search interlinear Judges 16:15, and that's going to get you the same result right here, right in the middle. I love you. Okay, let's see if we have time for one more. She's asking you or she's saying you. Oh, you're going to be surprised to know. ATH. The word you in English. Oops. I don't think I have a problem with English so much as I have a problem with this keyboard. So if you notice here, the letters are A, T, H. Oops. Wrong one. A, olive, right here. T, over here. See the little flare on the bottom? Flared out. And then back to the other. Oops. H is right here with the break in the middle. ATH is you. And the way that we like to pronounce that is like that. And that is one T. Do not go off of this. Do not go off of their interpretation. Go off of what is actually written. Oh, that's my advice. Do whatever you need to do. But what I'm letting you know is that's the way I'm doing things going forward. That's why you'll see me try to be direct as possible to limit the confusion as much as possible, even whenever it comes to like, I don't see it here, but even when it comes to like the titles and stuff like that, like if it's July, I say Julius because that's what it is. It's named after Julius. If it's August, it's Augustus because that's who it's named after, right? But you don't see two T's here. You don't see two T's. You see one T, ATH, Atah. So just going forward, and please don't take any offense, anyone. I'm just doing things as straightforward as I know how, as the way that it's presented to limit confusion. You know, some people may do it phonetically, some may do it, because it looks better, a certain kind of way. But what you're probably going to see from me going forward is the exact way to interpret as best I know how. Okay. I don't want anybody to be any more confused. I mean, the modern English is hard enough. The modern Hebrew is hard enough. We really don't need to make it more complicated by adding things that aren't there. And don't take this as a personal thing to anyone in here. This is uh just a me thing going forward. It's been put on my heart to be as direct as possible. Um that said, I'm still gonna have my not Sareem filter on, and I'm still gonna, come at you with love, but understand that if it's not written, I just have no basis. I have no proof otherwise. If that makes sense. So definitely don't take offense. It's we're just sticking to the facts. You know what I mean? Facts, facts, facts. Okay. So yeah, definitely go ahead and rewind if you need to. Replay. If you guys have any issues, or if there's something that you guys need to reach out to me regarding, let me give you my email address so you have it. Go on over to link. Ooh, let's not do caps just in case. Link tr.ee/natzareth and click on my name down here. It's going to take you to my socials. I've got YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram. Don't talk about that one today because it's Shabbat. And then here's the email, natzareth7@gmail.com. That's natzareth7@gmail.com. Also got all the 104, 105 something songs. They will be 110 before the fall starts. I've already got them ready. I just need to make videos for them. So all of those 100 plus songs are here if you'd like to download and replay, remix them, use them however you want to. If you want to run them through a generator and change them, do so. As long as you're within Yasharal and doing things the way that Yahuwah says to, be my guest. Use anything and everything. So you've got all the MP4 videos. Caution, these are large files, but the MP3s are just normal sizes. Um, let's just see. Okay, it's not going to tell you how many are in here, but yeah, there's 100 something. But other than that, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. Again, let me know in the comments if you found something helpful or if you have a suggestion. Maybe something that you learned is going to be reiterated by you making a comment. So definitely correspond and communicate with Yasharal and let us know what you've learned. And that way we can, the Ruach HaKodesh can use each of us to enlighten and to bring maybe something that we didn't know into the fold. So that being said, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I'm going to see you guys in the chat more specifically. We're about to start Ambassadors of Yah with Brother Jimmy. So until then, keep Torah and follow Yahusha. Ahabatik Mishpaka. Halal Yahuwah Ad.